What's going on, guys, and welcome back to News to Science, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more. Here to talk to you about some pretty surprising and exciting news. As you probably have already heard about a few hours ago, Sony and Amazon TV is partnering up to develop a new Spider-Man Noir series. Now, if you are familiar with Spider-Man Noir, basically, he's Spider-Man that takes place in the 1930s during the era of Depression. He's a very gritty and brutal Spider-Man, and it's mostly black and white. If you ever read Spider-Man Noir comics, they're actually a pretty fun read. It's pretty much a Peter Parker that is living in the 30s, playing Spider-Man. He also wields a gun, and it's really cool. And I think Amazon TV is the perfect place to have such a series like this. Also, if Sony's planning to actually adapt more future Marvel Spider-Man series such as Spider-Man Noir and other spin-offs like this on Amazon TV, it's probably the right move, because I think the movies just won't do it justice, since these characters do have a lot of stories to tell. So we're going to go ahead and get into the details in just a sec. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click on the bell notifications so you all don't miss anything. I post videos here on the daily, and I do live streams from time to time. Join my Discord. Invitation link to that is in the description box below. Also follow me on social media, which you can also find the links to in the description box below. It's simply at News to Astonish. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch if you want to join me there for other kinds of content that you want to check out. Definitely, I have it there for you guys to check out. So let's go ahead and get into the details about this new story that just broke the internet. And this is coming from Superhero Hype. Amazon is developing a new Spider-Man Noir TV series, but get this, it's not going to feature a Peter Parker, which I don't understand as to why they wouldn't feature Peter Parker. That's who he is in the comics. But as far as what name this Spider-Man's going to have for the Spider-Man Noir TV series, that remains unclear. I guess we'll just find out then until we get closer to the launch of this new series. So Amazon is developing it, and the Spider-Verse is expanding at Amazon Prime Video. Via Variety, Amazon, and Sony Pictures Television are developing a live-action Spider-Man Noir TV series. Oren Oziel is set to write and executive produce the show alongside Amy Pascal, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse producers Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. Now, that's pretty good news, because if you aren't familiar with those two, you probably heard those names floating around when it comes to Spider-Man properties and other Marvel properties. They're the ones that actually helped develop and actually produced Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, like I've mentioned before. Since that movie is like a really good film, I pretty much have a lot of faith in these two into developing a decent Spider-Man Noir TV series, along with like the Silk Spider-Verse show that we're getting as well, because that's going to be in development very soon. And I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but again, like I mentioned before, it is a smart move for Sony to develop these spin-offs as a series, because Spider-Man's a very popular IP, and no matter what version you're reading about them, they do have a really good rep. David Hine, Fabrice Sapolsky, Carmine D. Giandomenico, and Marco Djurjevic, I don't know if I'm saying that name correctly, co-created Spider-Man Noir in 2009 for the Marvel Noir event. The comic book followed a new incarnation of Peter Parker during the Great Depression of the 1930s, as he became a more violent variant of Spider-Man. The TV series will maintain the basic premise of the comic. However, it will not feature Peter Parker as the main character. Assuming the show goes forward, this will be the first time that Spider-Man Noir has appeared in live action. Nicolas Cage, who hilariously and amazingly provided the voice of the character in the Into the Spider-Verse film, Milo Ventimiglia also portrayed Noir in Ultimate Spider-Man animated series. Now, I didn't know that Milo actually played a version of the Noir version of Spider-Man in the Ultimate Spider-Man series. That's because I didn't watch that garbage. Ultimate Spider-Man on Disney XD was literal garbage. It was so immature. It was not funny. It tried so hard to be funny, although there were some moments that were pretty serious. But aside from that, the show is pure garbage. It's nonsense. And if you're not familiar with Milo Ventimiglia, he's on a show, I think it's called This Is Us, but he's more recognizable from the series called Heroes, and that was on NBC like years ago, a little over a decade ago. And he's been in various movies ever since. And he's also loaned his voice to some characters like Spider-Man Noir. But it's kind of cool to see that, you know, Sony's going to be developing this into a series, and they abandoned the fact that, you know, they were going to actually make these into movies, not Spider-Man Noir specifically, but they were actually going to make a Silk Spider-Verse kind of movie. And I think they were going to make a movie called Black and White, which featured a Black Cat character and, of course, Silver Sable. But I think they abandoned that one. I think it was called Black and Silver. I said Black and White. Excuse me. My apologies. But I just think that them tackling the streaming service is the best idea moving forward, so we can get more stories and we can actually take our time with these characters and care about them versus a short 2-hour film. And that kind of feels kind of rushed, because as is, Sony loves to milk the Spider-Man IP character. Remember, they have the rights to the Spider-Man character and they don't want to lose it to Marvel because if anything, let's be honest, Spider-Man is making them a lot of money and they don't really have a lot of well-known movies. They're actually relatively a very small studio compared to other studios like Disney, for example, or Universal Studios. But they really have to rely on Spider-Man because it is a hit. As noted by Variety, Ozil's previous credits include 22 Drum Street, the 2021 Mortal Kombat reboot, the Cloverfield Paradox, and The Lost City. He has also scripted the upcoming Borderlands movie and John Wick 4. Sony's also developing a Spider-Man adjacent live-action series called Silk Spider Society. Former Walking Dead showrunner Angela Kang signed on to guide that project late last year. So some of you were wondering as to why Sony was able to get a Spider-Man TV series greenlit on Amazon Prime rather than Disney Plus. Well, remember, Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, and they've actually partnered with Amazon on several projects, most notably The Boys. So yes, because Sony sucks that way, they don't have a streaming platform, so they got to go ahead and partner with others. What do you want to see in Spider-Man Noir TV series? You let me know down in the comment section below. So this is really exciting. I can't wait. I'm actually kind of looking forward to this. I've always wanted to see a dedicated series towards, being dedicated towards a different version of Spider-Man, and I'm glad that we're getting this. And perhaps if Sony continues to play nice with Disney and Marvel Studios, maybe we can actually see Spider-Man Noir make an appearance in a future Marvel Studios project. I mean, after all, it's still a Marvel property, so anything's possible at this point. As it is, they've been playing nice for years now with Disney and Marvel Studios, allowing Spider-Man to show up in Avengers films and whatnot. So I don't see why not. And besides, with the upcoming Secret Wars movies that we're getting, I wouldn't be surprised if this iteration of Spider-Man showed up in that film along with Silk and many others. Again, a lot of opportunities here, and there's a reason why they're actually showing up in a streaming service as such. I know it's not Disney Plus, but still, it's kind of cool though. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, you let me know your thoughts. Do you think these characters are actually going to be able to expand into future Marvel Studios films? Are you excited at the fact that we're getting a Spider-Man Noir TV series? You let me know. Do you think Sony should stop making Spider-Man TV series and spin-offs? You let me know as well. Anyways, thanks for watching and tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell notifications so you all don't miss anything. And as always, I will see you all in the next comic panel.